Hey Aries, welcome to you. Hey, good to see you. All right, so we're going to get started here with your reading. This will apply for the next 2 weeks from whenever you're watching this. All right, I'm going to pull us an oracle card, pull a theme card to start off this reading. I hope you're doing all right. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the card we have is Mint. It says abundance, persistence, proliferation. Okay, so is this upright? Okay, I'm getting a sense that elements of this are upright and then some are reversed. So, yeah, the one that's really being underlined to me right now is the word abundance from this card. So that's what Spirit's showing me, the animation of like underlining the abundance card. I think there's, okay, what's in reverse is the persistence bit. I think there's an element here of like needing to be persistent to, or like, to keep going or endure or just don't give up in order to receive the abundance that you're looking for, or what you're kind of going after. I'm getting a sense here that there's some sort of goal or I'm hearing the word mission. Okay, but the goal may be part of your mission or like your life's mission or part of your life's purpose. Yeah, that's a really interesting energy, but it does feel like you have a goal here, and Spirit wants you to keep going and don't give up. And I'm just getting the sense that like on the other side of this is abundance, and there's something around, there's like a fish. I don't know if you see that, there's a fish. Like, is that a keychain? Yeah, that's so interesting on this card. Okay, and the phrase I'm hearing is like fish out of water. Okay, so it's like, it feels like, I think what you're going through, the journey you're kind of going through right now feels a bit unknown to you, or there are elements that feel like you don't know where this is going to lead to. Is this going to lead to the goal that you have? You know, is your kind of like mission per se going to be fulfilled? Yeah, and so I think, I think there's some sort of element here of like, what you're going through is normal. There's something that just feels a little bit like, is that how I should say that? Yeah, like, not to be too, I know this word says proliferate, but the word that's coming through is preoccupied with what the current state of things is. I think Spirit really wants you to be like present through this experience in current state, and know that this is part of the experience of going through the unknown. And especially if you're like doing something that you haven't done before, or you're moving in a direction or a path that you haven't walked before, like this makes complete sense. So I'm really getting the sense here that Spirit is, I'm hearing also like you will be fed. Don't worry, like you will be fed. So I don't know what that means. It's almost like you will be cared for is the energy that's coming through. So I don't know if that phrase it feels very specific to someone, but don't worry, like you will be fed. And so I think there's definitely an encouragement here to like continue walking the path of the unknown, because it just feels like what's on the other side of this is abundance and actually like some sort of wish fulfillment. So that's what I'm getting from this. Okay, anything else, Spirit? Okay. Yeah, okay, so this experience you're going through is part of your growth. They're showing me the animation now of the mint like growing. I'm seeing a little like leaves like growing off of the kind of bigger ones here and like sprouting out. So there again, that's the kind of proliferation piece, which I get, but it's actually not proliferation. The way it's coming through from spirit is growth. Again, I feel like this is important to your growth, whatever it is that you're going through right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into, is there anything else, Spirit? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the main part of the message. So let's go ahead and do that now. I wanna see like what's going well for you over the next 2 weeks here. Apologies, I'm just making sure my timer's set. I'm hearing don't worry about time. Actually, that's not for me. I know that's not for me. That's for someone here. So if that's for you, Spirit is asking you not to, again, not be too preoccupied about time as well. Because time is an illusion, right? Things happen in the time they're meant to, exactly when they're meant to happen. But I just feel like I said, you will be fed. Don't worry about time. It just feels like you're being cared for and will be cared for through what you're going through over the next 2 weeks. Okay, Spirit, what's going well? What's going well for Aries over the next 2 weeks? Can you tell us that? Okay. The Fool, literally your card. This is your reading. Okay. All right, the Fool. I really like this energy. Again, it's just, that's exactly what I'm saying. It feels like you're like going after something. This energy is coming through as like you have a mission. It's almost like you're on a journey here. And just like this person is that you're seeing. And as you're on this journey, again, it's something new. There's kind of this like, I'm setting off to, you know, go travel this path. And I'm getting a lot of like, almost like, this is feeling very like Disney cartoon right now is the energy. I don't know how else to describe that. It's almost like that, you know, when the protagonist or the character like starts out on the journey and they're, you know, kind of going for it. So there's a lot of that energy here, which feels really good. Okay, so I'm also noticing, I've never seen this on this card before, but there's like, there's a rose. You can't really see it because it kind of just looks like a white dot. That's actually like a little rose pin on what they're wearing here. That's so interesting. And the words that were coming through is like, what do you want to say about that, Spirit? Because I heard a couple of things. There's something around your heart being on your sleeve. Okay, your heart being on your sleeve. So that feels specific to someone. Your heart's on your sleeve. And I'm not sensing that's a bad thing. It doesn't feel like a bad thing. It's just something that Spirit wants to call out here. And I feel like, oh, here's the other part, is your heart and like Spirit are kind of wrapped up into this like goal or this mission that you have. So it feels very, related to your heart. But I think there's also another call here to make sure your actions are heart-centered is what I'm hearing. There's something around the way that the rose is not quite centered on this person's chest is coming through really strongly with Spirit. Again, very random, that's what they're showing me. But yeah, make sure you're like, oh, okay, leading with your heart. And I think there is that message around heart on the sleeve again. That feels specific to someone, but I think Spirit really wants you to like lead with your heart through this experience and through the journey that you're taking right now. So I really like this Fool energy. It just feels like, again, you're kind of embarking on something. But again, the energy of the Fool is that they're walking the kind of unknown path. You see they're walking towards this like cliff here and gonna jump off. So it's typically a card around, in my form of reading tarot, I associate the Fool with Aries. So again, perfect that it came out for your reading, but yeah, there's definitely, you know, this energy of like keeping faith here. Like I said, don't give up is still here. So that's exactly what this card is speaking to. You want these two? Okay. Okay. Is this what's on top? Okay, so this is going to blend a little bit with what we were just talking about. So we got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, and we have the King of Wands. Give me a second here. I gotta see. Give me a moment. So this is what's on top. Okay, yes, that's what I'm hearing from Spirit. So it's the Six of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Wands. This is what's coming through, but there's an energy here of like really clarifying why, how do I say that? What it is that you're going after and why you're going after it. So what this like goal and mission is that you have, like Spirit really wants you to like think about or like clarify that with yourself. Like what is your, oh, that's what it is. What is your value set? What is your value set? So if you're going after, let's say, a particular like work purpose or something dealing with like, again, life purpose, if it is related to work, then I think Spirit really wants you to clarify with yourself, like there's a couple of things coming through here, but like, what is it that you want to like get out of this experience? So that's coming through with the Six of Pentacles and something in reverse, because usually this is a card of like giving. So I think there's an energy of like, what do you want to take away from this experience? Like, what are you aiming to like kind of get out of it? And I think there's also an energy here of like, what are you giving of yourself from this experience? And I think there's a question here around like being of service. Totally. Okay, totally. I see that, Spirit. So I think Spirit wants you to clarify with yourself and reflect. I'm seeing the Hermit card in my mind's eye, but kind of, and the Hanged Man a little bit, but kind of reflect on what it is you're going after, what this goal means to you. Is it something that's aligned with your purpose? Is it something that, or again, that feels aligned with your soul? Is it something that feels like it, through achieving this goal, that you will be kind of in the world in a way, in the way that you want to. Let me say it that way. In the way that you want to. Okay, so yeah, and that's coming through with the King of Wands energy. So it's coming through as like the way you present yourself in the world. That's kind of what King of Wands speak to. Is again, kings speak to kind of the external landscape in tarot. So that's what I'm getting. Do you have more to say about this, Spirit? Okay, you want to keep going? Okay, so it looks like there was a bit of clarification around and wanting you to investigate and explore why it is that you're doing what you're doing and what you're hoping to take away from it. Okay, that feels pretty like straightforward. Okay, do you want this deck? You want this one? Okay, so give me a moment. I gotta switch decks here. All right. Tune into this next energy here. Okay, there's an element here of resistance. That's interesting. So I'm seeing the word persistence from the Mint card, and they're also showing me, and the word that's kind of like coming with it and rhyming for whatever reason is resistance. So, trying to figure out how to like talk about this, but it feels like there's an element of resistance. I feel like, okay, I got it. If you are not following truly what's aligned with you, you will be met with resistance. Totally. Okay. Okay, did I get that, Spirit? All right, we got that. So hopefully that was helpful for you. So as you're walking this path, if you're met with resistance, it's because you may need to clarify what your goal is, and like I said earlier, like what your ultimately like what your soul's goal is, or what your values are, or what it is you're actually hoping to accomplish with what you're doing. Okay. Resistance. And there's also the message here to persist through that resistance. Like, okay, if you're being, so let me clarify this because it's coming through, it's a little bit, can you help me clarify this? Yeah, okay. Three of Wands. Yeah, exactly. On your journey. So when you're on your journey here, and on this path, I feel like you will be, oh, there it is. Yeah. You'll be met with, I don't know if you see this person's shadow right here. Yeah, you're going to be met with like some of your shadow parts or parts of yourself that I think Spirit wants you to look at. I think there's an energy here of actually like facing your shadow, like this person's doing in this card. Okay, they're facing it. Okay, and so Spirit really wants you to get into this energy of facing the shadows that come up, because those are the ones that are going to come up and are going to be tied to that resistance that's coming up. So it's important you look at them and understand and clarify and heal if needed, but clarify what your actual like motive is. That's the word that has been elusive. I've been trying to get to this word. It's motive. Okay, it's motive. Great. So Spirit wants you to clarify your motive and to make sure it's actually aligned with your purpose, aligned with what feels good for your soul, is aligned with your values, okay? And that feels really important, especially for someone if it's related to work. Again, I don't know why this is the example that Spirit keeps bringing through, but it just feels like Spirit really wants you to, as you're like, kind of traveling towards, let's say, this pyramid here that you're trying to get to, you're going to be encountering aspects of your shadow here. Spirit really wants you to confront them, heal them, meet them, give them what they need, whatever these shadow parts, which are usually like inner child parts, whatever they need, and then to, again, don't give up, even though these things are coming up. Like this is part of the journey to getting to kind of your ultimate goal here. Okay, but Spirit, I'm getting the sense that in order for you to actually reach this abundance and reach this goal that you're looking for, like it's imperative you actually meet these shadow parts and grow and evolve on this journey through this process. That's totally it. You want this card? Yeah. Okay. So they're giving me the Three of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they want you to like heal the wounds. This is coming through as like a wound or wounds that you will encounter. So this is confirming what I just said. So this is coming through as wounds, and Spirit really wants you to, like I said, get in there, kind of like be the medicine. That's what I'm hearing. Be the medicine for your own parts of yourself that need healing along this journey. And as these come up, like just know what you're going through is purposeful. It is intentional. It's not meant to, how do I say that? Yeah, it's not meant to cause like burden. Okay, they gave me the Five of Swords. It's not meant to cause like burden on you, because these swords are coming through as like, I don't know if burden's the right word. How would I describe that? It was an energy of like conflict or burden. It's not meant to overwhelm you. Okay, that's part of the energy too, but there's a specific word I can't quite get here. But I think what this is, what you're going through here, there is something, because I tie this for me is my ancestor card. So I equate this as like if this were you, for instance, and then these two in the background, these are at different like moments in time, but these are like past relatives or again ancestors that you have. So that's usually how I read this card. Sometimes I can also read it as like this is you and these are like past versions of yourself. Yeah, so exactly. So I think this card is coming through with a couple different like layers of meaning here. One of them is that I think some of the shadow parts that are coming up aren't yours, and I think they are ancestral. So it may be important for you to work with someone who can support you through ancestral healing, or again, a somatic therapist is supportive, but it just feels like there's an energy here of needing to kind of just understand that some of like what you'll be working through isn't yours, and that was passed on from another generation, from other lives, okay, in your soul family. Okay, so that's one part of the message. The other part is that there are like past versions of yourself. I was talking earlier about like inner children or which usually, again, it's usually most of our wounds that we get come from early childhood. Not all of them, but most of them do. The ones that kind of affect our lives. So typically like within a couple years of being born, you've already like basically formed a certain amount of wounds, and those wounds just get like repeated throughout your life until you heal them and resolve them and come into sort of alignment with them or reorient them the way that they need to be reoriented. Okay. And so, like I said, we don't have the healing card. We don't have the star card out here on this spread, but it's just feeling like, give me a second. I'm going to rearrange the spread on my table here, but it just feels like there's a real need to, like I said, don't give up, keep going, but also understand that there will be, you will be met with resistance. And this is part of the path of healing for you to be able to get to your ultimate goal and to make sure when you get there, you're able to like actually sustain it and be with it. And yeah, to have all the abundance that you desire is what's coming through. Yeah, oh my gosh. Did I say the Hermit card? I did. Okay, bruh. Bruh, Spirit's talking. Like, okay. Like, yeah, it's just, again, do you see this person's on a journey? Same energy. They're on a journey. They're setting off on a journey. They are traveling through sort of this, like, this looks very celestial. I love this card. It's so gorgeous. It's such a cool card. But they're traveling through this like celestial space, and you see they have the lantern, the wisdom, the knowledge, and that's what I feel like you're gaining through this experience, through walking this path. I'm just seeing, I don't know, I'm just struck by the fact, the way I'm looking at these on my tarot table, I don't know if you noticed this, but both of these people are looking at the wound. Okay, and actually this wound, you know, it's both upright and reverse, but they're looking at the wound, okay? So that's really interesting to me because, like I said, I feel like that's what Spirit wants you to do, is to see this as you go through this journey. And like I said, continue to like clarify your motives. And there's also an energy here, like if your goal ends up changing as a result, that's perfectly okay too. I don't know, I need to say that for someone, because I think as you go through healing, like that's a pretty natural process. Do you want me to talk about that, Spirit? Okay, yeah, so, okay. You were gonna get this card. I knew it. I was like, burden is coming through, but I was like, I don't see the 10 of Wands yet, but I was like, I'm feeling this burden energy. Okay, so fuck. Yeah, I'm good at this. Okay, so it's just like, okay, so here's what we need to talk about a little bit. Give me a second. I'm just taking a sip of my tea here. I think there's a lot of ways in which we operate in the world from wounded parts or wounded states of being. Okay, like that's absolutely true. Like that happens because, well, life happens. And like I was talking earlier about these young, you know, parts of yourself that, you know, many call like inner children, right? Because they are. But what happens is we end up in a state where we're operating from those parts, like we are literally being like flooded by those parts, and they are the ones who are like controlling and taking control and influencing our lives. That's why, you know, there's a lot of talk around like most of the decisions, if in fact, I think it's like 90-something%, if not higher, like it's like, I think a lot of people say like 95%. One of my favorite tarot readers, her name is Tarot by Gabrielle. She says 95% of your movement, choices, and actions are like subconscious and are influenced by these parts, which she's absolutely right. I would actually argue is higher, 95%, just from my time being, I was a spiritual healer for the last like 10 years of my life, for over a decade. And so from what I've seen, most of us are operating out of these parts. And so, you know, and not truly in our like autonomous adult selves. And so I think what Spirit is trying to say here, like it's perfectly okay if as you go through and you heal some of these parts, like they can then like rest because you're giving them what they need. Like you're, again, fulfilling whatever need that their like caregivers or parents or teachers or mentors or whoever was caring for them at the time couldn't do or wouldn't do, or whatever the situation was, right? And so where we end up is, you know, once we heal those parts, what we can find is our life drastically changes, right? That's what healing does. And so it may be, maybe you had a goal and it was to go after like this one type of career, for instance, and then you find out, you know, come doing this healing as you're on this journey and meeting some of these shadow parts, you're like, you know what, actually, I'm going to shift gears a little bit, or actually, this is not what I'm interested in at all. Okay, so I feel like that's really important. And I feel like for someone, that situation may actually happen over the next 2 weeks. But it doesn't necessarily have to be work. It could be anything. Like maybe you thought, for instance, like this was the version of my life that I was going to play out. Like I have always wanted to be married, for instance. It's the other one that's coming through that Spirit's telling me. Like I always wanted to be married. And, you know, as you go through your healing over the next 2 weeks, again, it doesn't have to be 2 weeks. This energy can permeate, right? But I'm just saying it feels like over the next 2 weeks, there's a big chunk of healing that happens here, or a shift in some ways. And so, you know, maybe you do some healing, you realize, oh, actually, that's not really what I want. Like that's not something I really like value. Again, my values, like it's not something I value. And so maybe that shifts for you. There's just this energy here, like I said, of going inwards as you're going on this, or as you're on this journey, or whatever it is that your kind of your goal is here. And Spirit wants you to like heal through some of the wounds, because these wands are coming through as wounds that you're carrying and holding. Again, some of these are coming from past lives, like I said, and from family and ancestors, and not actually, some of these aren't actually yours, right? This could be, for instance, if this was about marriage, it's like, you know, that's what I've been expected to do, but you know, you may get to a point, maybe you get to a point in healing where you're like, actually, that doesn't align with me, and that's not for me. Like, that's perfectly fine. I think Spirit is trying to say, like, it's okay. There's something around the way the Three of Wands is coming through. Like, it's okay. I'm seeing this one wand over here. If, like, you need to redirect yourself to a different angle of this or to something completely different, I think it's okay. I'm also seeing, like, the Two of Wands in my mind's eye, too. So three of Wands, Two of Wands. And so I feel like it's completely okay if you need to, like I said, reorient yourself towards something new if that comes up over the next 6 weeks, or 6 weeks. For someone, it is 6 weeks. Okay, that's why I was like, this energy feels like beyond 2 weeks for someone here, so it could be up to, you know, 6 weeks. It was not a coincidence I said that. Yeah, I feel like just be open to the ways that like you need to move to get to this abundance you're looking for. Like if you take a look at this card, this person, there's not a clear path to this like pyramid they want to go towards. There's not a clear path here. Okay, and I just got a notification, so I'll tell you about it in a second because it's related to your message, but there's not a clear path here, but this abundance is assured. Okay, so like that's assured here. You see the stars around it? Like it's assured. So I think there's an energy of like confronting shadows as you go. It may be like traveling through some element of shadow space, just like we saw in the kind of Hermit card of moving through kind of the darkness here. It's giving a little bit of like moon energy. Okay, but I think Spirit wants you to be open to like where this path takes you. If you need to like kind of do a winding road, that's okay too. Okay, but Spirit's saying like your abundance is here, but it just needs to look right for you. So like I said, I feel like clarifying your motives as you go, doing the healing will start to clarify your motives. I just got a notification as well from one of my friends. I'm getting a sense here that like it may be good for you to like connect with others during this time in terms of like people you trust. Like I said, it could be my friend is actually a somatic therapist as well, so somatic therapists or healers, or again just close friends who can support you in like looking at these wounds or holding you as well as you kind of look at some of this energy. Which deck do you want, Spirit? This one? Okay, so that feels important as well. Yeah, so there's something that this feels like it's going to be, I don't know if the energy's quick, but it feels like there's something fast moving. Like I feel compelled now. I was posting videos, monthly readings for each sign, but I'm feeling compelled now to do them for every 2 weeks because there's something around like, I feel like the spiritual energies have sped up since Pluto has moved into Aquarius. So I feel like, I felt called to do that more, but I feel like, again, you may notice some sort of like quickening of the pace of some of these like either the resistance that's coming up, or again, the milestones on your journey that's coming through as well, or just kind of the pace at which there's an energy here of like, and just in general, I've been feeling this with the collective of like we have the ability now to heal faster than ever before. There's something around the way the energies are shifting on this planet right now that is allowing us to heal faster than in the past. And so I think this is a good opportunity for you to just know it may be happening naturally already, okay? Or as you're moving into the next 2 weeks, okay? But just know that's sort of like also in the collective space as well. So like you're not alone in this. That's the other message that's coming through with my friend reaching out. Like you're not alone. Okay. All right. This deck. Okay. All right. Just cutting this. One moment. Feels like there's something they want to say about the King of Wands. Yeah. Okay. There's something around the King of Wands and the way you're like presenting yourself. This one, yeah, in the world. Ah, I love it. Okay, so we got the Sage card. I've never seen this card before. It's gorgeous. Look at that. Okay, so Sage, wisdom, purification, harmony. I love it. Okay, so I was talking about a couple things. I was talking about the kind of the purification is coming through as purifying your motives, okay? Clarifying, purifying your motives. That's what I keep saying, but that's like what keeps coming through. Like Spirit is like doubling down on this again. Spirit really wants you, it's almost like they're showing me like you sifting for gold, okay? This is coming through as like gold nuggets. So it's almost like when you go to I don't know, people are like treasure hunters or treasure find, I don't know, they go to the beach and like use those like I don't know, little devices that allow them to like, you know, check for gold nuggets on the beach. Well, that's what this energy is coming through as. Like I'm seeing you shifting like with like a wire basket and like shifting out until you have just the gold nuggets left. So the Spirit really wants you to purify your motives and your goal and like what it is you actually want, and wants you to kind of start, again, continuing the process of kind of stripping away, setting down, letting go of things that no longer serve you, with like I said, that three of Swords. Okay. Is that all you want to say on that, Spirit? Okay. Yeah, the other energy that's coming through, I was talking about like the Hermit, and this is a card of wisdom. I already said that, right? Like yeah, like, okay, so I think, again, Spirit wants you to really lean on, here's the other message, really wants you to lean on your own inner wisdom. And like I said, there's just this energy of like inner knowledge, inner light. Again, I kept getting like this moon energy, but that's what it feels like. It's kind of like finding your own way through the darkness in a way. And I feel like that's what the wisdom card is coming out to say, or the Sage card is coming out to say. I do sense the harmony aspect, but the smoke is actually coming through, like the smoke from the Sage is coming through on this card. Again, there's just this energy of Spirit wanting you to like clear out the fog and the smoke for you to be able to see clearly and see what it is, again, that you actually want for your life is what I'm hearing. Okay. Anything else on this card? Yeah, there's something about the feather here. There's a feather here. I don't know if you even see it because it's kind of small, but I feel like if you see any stray feathers, this will be confirmation your spirit team is with you right now and that you're headed in the right direction. This is interesting because it's not actually a key, but it looks like a key to me. What do you have to say about the key? Oh, okay. There's something you're unlocking. Is that it? Yeah, something you're unlocking over the next 2 weeks. Okay. So everything I've been talking about, there's an energy of like unlocking kind of a new, is it a new part? A new part of yourself? A new leg to your journey. Okay. Okay, Spirit. I like it. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, unlocking a new leg to your journey. So I feel like if you start to move through the energy I'm talking about, that's what happens, and you get closer to this pyramid. Totally. Okay, so I think that's what we have for the general. Is that it, Spirit? Okay, do we want an extended? Okay, they want an extended. Okay, so we're gonna go into an extended after this. I hope this has been helpful for you. There was a lot of like really good messages here, so I hope whatever was for you actually resonated with you. But yeah, it just seems like you're kind of on a journey again. You're in this like Fool energy, so it's really good. Spirit wants you to keep going, and if in any ways you were like wanting to give up or just feeling like there is an element of like being like the word I'm hearing is like exasperated by what you're going through. And so, like I said, it was that energy I was talking about earlier of like being overwhelmed, but that's not quite it. It's like exasperated. Okay. I mean, this comes in a little bit as overwhelmed, but there's an energy of like being exasperated here. So Spirit wants you to keep going, wants you to know you're on the right path, wants you to, again, heal, confront, meet, face, embrace these shadow parts as they come up, give them what they need, heal these inner child parts, the ancestral bits that are kind of like repeating over this next 2 weeks. And like I said, I just feel like it unlocks something of your abundance and unlocks something of this journey. And I don't know, there is a slight sort of like potential for breakthrough here. I think if you keep going, if you keep moving forward. So that's definitely the energy here. Keep moving forward and keep with faith, and know that your spirit team is here. All right, so we're going to go into an extended right now. If you want to know more about the extended, I'm just going to continue going deeper into this message. So we're going to go a layer deeper into this. I don't know what's going to come up. I feel like this energy is interesting because this one, this energy feels like it's kind of unfolding as you walk it. Like is just the, I'm going to write that down. Unfolding as you walk it. That's exactly it. Like that's coming through so strong with this card. It's like you have no idea what at all how to get to this pyramid, but it's like unfolding as you walk it. So I think this is a really good energy for you, Aries. And we're gonna go into the extended. You can check that out in the description box below. I also am doing personal readings right now at a pretty heavy discount, a community discount. So I have personal readings for 40 to 60 minutes for $95. And if that's out of reach for you, I also have a $47 tier for a 20 to 25 minute reading. So you feel free to check that out on my website. That's also linked in the description box below. But Aries, I'm wishing you a lot of luck over this next 2 weeks in this journey. And I hope this has been helpful for you. And I hope to see you at the extended. But if I don't, I will see you at our next reading. All right. Thanks for being here. See ya. Bye for now.